didn't ask for it, but it's there now. And at the end of the day, you like those too, so you might as well enjoy it. And this day and age, you know, it's tough growing up, and it's tough to find real, genuine men to look up to and to have as role models and influencers in your life. And thankfully for myself and my brothers and my cousins, we have been surrounded by plenty of real, genuine men to look up to, from my own father to our Uncle Keith, who's sitting right there, and to one of our greatest role models, our Opa. So, yeah. And it's just been wonderful, especially as technology's increased. We are able to talk to our Opa at the press of a button. I mean, I know some of you old folks, as we getting older, you're getting your phones, and I know that maybe we'll text you real quick, and then you guys will take a look, some glasses here. And it takes you about 20, 30 minutes to text back, yes, with a period. I've seen my own dad do it. I've seen him do it. I guess about this far away from the phone. I said, Dad, can I go here? 20, 30 minutes later, I was like, wow, he's texting something. Yes, love Dad. But it's wonderful. Yeah, technology's been wonderful. We got many pictures, and it's just wonderful to be able to talk and call any one of these men at any time at the push of a button. It's wonderful. And Opa's taught me many things in my life. One of the greatest things I think he's taught me is that it's one of the reasons I'm standing up here talking in front of you today. Opa's taught me how to be personal and how to make connections with people, and his ability to talk to anyone at any time. It's rubbed off on me. It's rubbed off on me.
You got a little of it, huh?
From watching him talk to our cab driver when he took me on a visit to college, just talking, just chatting about him. Opa never met him before in his life. We had a full-on conversation. Seeing Opa, when I was younger, we got stranded at an airport in Houston. Just see Opa, just chat up, anybody. Nobody's want to listen. He's sitting there, man who's wheeling Opa around in a wheelchair. Opa will say, how you doing? How's your day? What's going on with you? And, it's wonderful. And so, as I've grown up, I've seen that, and it's probably one of the greatest lessons he's ever taught me, is how to make connections with people, how to be personable, and just really how to be a man who can talk and make eye contact and be with someone. Another thing he's taught me is how to take care of his family. Even in his old age, as he's gotten older, he still has never stopped taking care of every single member of his family. And I think that's a very important lesson that I've learned from him, that no matter how old I get, I can always take care of and lead my future family. And so that's some of the greatest lessons that my grandfather, my Opa, has ever taught me. And I know that if God willing I make it to 80 years old, I will be lucky to have this many people in one room who care so much about me. So. That's just all I have to say. And Opa, I love you. And you the man.
Hey.
So,
What's next?
let's move on to some cake.
Hello.
Hello. So, if you want, we got some cake over here, cake and ice cream right over here in this room, in here. So, if you guys want to, stand up, maybe get in a line and just file through.
Shall we sing?
Happy birthday.
Well, I think we should sing when you want to get the cake first. Or you want to sing first? I mean, we can do it. All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daddy God. Happy birthday to you.
Do you also, the guy that was just standing here was a DU from Bucknell. He's one of my friend's brothers from He's NFL. Tim Higgins. Tim, welcome. Happy birthday. Thank you, sir. We want to visit. Thank you. Oh my God. How are you? I don't know if you
Jordan said, how was that? I said, Jordan, that was beautiful. He goes, I won it. And I hoped I didn't lose it. And I said, that was wonderful. It came from your heart. It was perfect. I knew you'd love it. That's the way Dad would do it.
I love you and continue your good works. God bless.
Uncle Sam, I love you.
Now I'd like to welcome up Rich Stein.
Richie! Give me some Jackie Vegas! Richie!
I mean, there he is.
I first met Mr. Boddie in 1983. Now, there's a 17-year difference in our ages, and I think I look pretty damn good for 97.
Richie! Kill it.
You know you're getting old when you get cable for the Weather Channel. I like this group. You know you get old when you bend over once to pick up 3 things. And finally, you know you're getting old when people call you at 8 o'clock and say, "Did we wake you?" But the truth of the matter is, there have been many people I've known for 35 years, and still, you know, it's just like every time we see each other, it's just like it's going to be fun. Boddie is a natural upper. I know because I'm not. It takes a lot. You can't buy it, you can't learn it. He's just always been that way. In fact, I was just telling friends at the table we met, my wife and I have a pool party every summer. And, you know, we invite all of our, you know, kind of conservative neighbors in my little neighborhood. And I always make sure, Boddie, you sure you can come? Because we need some laughs. He's just, like I said, he's always on autopilot. But for me, he's been one of those guys, you know, what would a black guy from Rochester, whose father was a preacher, have in common with a dopey white kid from Fairfield, Connecticut? On paper, it just doesn't make sense. Somehow it worked, right, Bob?
Yeah.
Somehow it worked.
Richie.
And I know the one rule of comedy always is leave them wanting more. I always leave them wanting less. We did a bunch of gigs on the road. We did a bunch of gigs on the road for years. We'd go on a motorhome, we'd go up to coast, he'd do his libertarian stuff. I'd go up first, see I was tried by fire because I used to have to go up first and eat it for 5 minutes. So I've had a lot of practice eating it. One time we had to stay at Circus. Circus, an interesting thing. They have live animal act.
Oh, gosh.
And they also has the cheapest buffet on the strip. I don't want to risk salmonella poisoning just because Gus the Wonder Horse didn't make it through the hoop on time. Anyway, the most important thing, Boddie, can you validate my parking stuff? I'm getting off on that one. I love you, Boddie.
Next up, we have my Uncle Rat. Uncle Rat, come on up.
Uncle Rat! Uncle Rat.
I'm not a comedian. So I'm going to be a little serious here. And my wife said to me not to talk too long. So let me be serious. Back when I was about 11 years old, I was in Boy Scouts, and so was my brother Dick. Or he wasn't my brother at the time. Okay. What happened was that we were in Boy Scout camp, and I believe you were assistant leader, right? Assistant scout leader. And I said, ooh, I don't have any place to go. I didn't have anywhere to go. You know, I was sort of an orphan. I used to go back to my biological home. So Dick said, well, come on, go to my house. So our mother Kate, called Mama Kate, I call her Mama Kate, she said, come on in. So I've been with the Boddie family ever since then.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Is that, you know, Mama Kate brought me in, and with Tim and all the rest, all the whole family, part of the family. Okay? And then, as my nieces and nephews, my nieces grew up, I was called Uncle Rat, Uncle Bill, okay, or Uncle Rat because I got a nickname for playing football. When I was playing football, they called me, they said that I looked like a little rat running around. And then, as we grew, Dick went on to college. I was in high school at the time. Dick was at Syracuse Law School at the time. And what we did is, I went to visit him because I was thinking about going to Syracuse. And we went to his fraternity house. And we turned it out. You play piano with Ray Charles.
Yes.
Tell me what I say. And I'm singing, yeah, tell me what I say. I couldn't sing. I still can't sing. The bottom line is, I'm just saying is that the Boddie family has been my family ever since I was age 11. And I'm right now. Okay? And Richard and I have been brothers ever since. Okay?
Yeah.
Ever since I was age 11. Okay? And we have one sister that was Wilma. And all I'm saying is that we've been very, very tight, close ever since then. My children, his children, and we're all one big family. Okay? So that's the serious note. Okay? So my wife probably will want to get out of here. Okay? So,
Next up is Robert Patton. My dad, come on up.
Daddy. Come on, Dad.
I am Mr. Boddie's first son-in-law, and I'm married to Jody, and Jody Cadman.
Pat, Nick.
Jordan, Kaden, and Christian. It's amazing how time flies.
Oh, God.
As I remember very clearly meeting Mr. Boddie when they were here over Huntington Beach. I think it was Rambler Street, something. And just meeting him, he was outside barbecuing, wearing his jeans. You know, I just have an image of him cooking many times. In this occasion,
Burgers.
Barbecuing shrimp, and very approachable, and at that point I was just meeting him and realizing, you know, that Jody may be someone that asked to marry me, and just kind of getting a feel for.
We tricked him. We tricked him.
No, it was a very comfortable, very family oriented. I felt it right away, and that made a big impression on me. And over the next, year and a half, we ended up continuing dating and got engaged, and it was not a problem. I felt very comfortable proposing to Jody, and because her parents, when I think of Mr. B, I think of Mr. and Mrs. B, and they were just very receptive, and people would ask me, is there an issue about the black and white issue, and
Wait.
didn't even cross my mind. So, and I just really appreciate, over the years, Mr. B is he's a tremendous communicator, and he is a man of his word. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. He's very, very interested in his grandsons, and there was a time there after knee replacement, he could barely get around, but he would still come to football games and up and down the stadium stairs, and baseball games. You got to walk half a mile to get out of the field. He doesn't complain. It's always an optimistic attitude, and a big thing that he has impressed upon my boys, which I'm very thankful for, is you do your best. You are thankful for your gifts. Do your best in terms of you should be pursuing a college education. You should be pursuing, if you have a certain passion, whether it's sports or something else, you pursue your dreams, and you don't give up. So it's a very strong message, and it has greatly impacted my family, myself, and especially our boys. So we're very thankful for that. And, I actually wasn't expecting to speak tonight.
Oh, there.
Anyways, thank you for your time, and happy birthday, Mr. B.
Next up is George Reese. That's right.
George.
He's pulling us all in at the last minute, isn't he? So I don't know. I've heard such great things about Dick tonight. I'm wondering, how many of us can say we're a better person today because we've known Dick?
Hey. Here, here.
Yeah, it's good for me. And
It's good stuff.
I don't know, when did I meet you first, Richard? Maybe about 25, 30 years ago. And then not only that, but you have a personality that just, your grandson is sitting there talking about, you go around and you talk to everybody. You make everybody feel comfortable, you make everybody happy, and you bring joy, I think, everywhere you go. You've come over to our house, and you sat there and played the piano, and just whipping out rags and stuff like crazy, bringing joy to our little house. So, Dick, it's been a pleasure. Happy birthday. I am a better person because I'm.
Oh.
Last, I'd like to ask Chris Lopez.
Lopez. Lopez.
So they're not kidding about just calling you up at the last minute. Okay? Talk about not knowing you're going to speak. Okay. So I went to high school with the daughters. Not Erica.
No, I was too young.
But Jody and Roxanne sang in choir. But then go over the house after some event, choir, what jazz is playing. He's like, we gotta listen to this. And I was like, I don't even know jazz that much. And he's like, well, you will now. But there's a lot of steps during that whole time that were market steps. Like, he said, I could borrow any one of his LPs anytime, whether he's home or not. I was like, okay.
This is serious.
This is great because I have this library, but also it meant that he trusted in me the care that I took when we talked about stuff, when we put on LPs, all that stuff. I mean, a record collection of stuff that's been out of print for 20 years. When you're in high school and you're trying to get everything you can, and this was before CDs, so the reprints hadn't happened. So it was like, okay. And then I'd be hanging out for hours after school, so much that it was dinner time. And instead of taking me out, I was asked, do you want to break bread with us?
Yeah.
Did I get a meal out of that? Yeah. Sure. So, I mean, when you're in your formative years, I mean, you're 15, 16, and I'm spending Christmases, and, you know, I'm an only child. I didn't have a family that would just like break out into song in the middle of something, you know, so this was like a great experience for me, and I'm glad it took me in. And to this day, I'm in my 50s.
What?
The man, we still talk. He still has a positive influence on me, like everybody has said. There's not a conversation that doesn't go in the positive way. I mean, when Robert was talking about he had to walk, you know, whatever to the sports game, he'd be like, I get there. I want to get there. I mean, that's what it is. That's what I think. So it's like that, those kinds of things really kind of just like blanket your impression of things and life and how you can deal with things. And hey, you had a company, the Motivators, when I first met you. And that motivation has still been something that, you know, it might be every week at some point that inspiration just, you know, helps you charge on. So for all those things, you know, I'm glad that you have had 80 years, but I'm especially glad that I've been able to be a part of some of those.
Woo! Lopez!
Now I'm going to open it up to anyone who'd like to come up, say a few words, anytime.
So do we got? Got a couple people. No, he's got a paper. I say Jeff, he has paper. Oh my gosh. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See me up here.
high school with Joey, the Boddie, Joey, Roxanne, not Erica, my sister.
I was too young.
Once again.
That's right. I was too young.
My buddy Fernando over here.
Nando. Hello.
I remember, I think I met Mr. Boddie in 1972. We moved out here to Huntington Beach. And Mr. Boddie came to our house and said, you know, we're only like the third black family in this area. I remember the Bill Cosby dances. Not now.
Oh, fair enough.
The singing, we had a piano in our house. My grandfather come over, he's still alive, he's 94.
Wow.
And he still plays the piano. Mr. Boddie used to come over and play the piano. And I think it was after I graduated high school, I got a few funny stories here. One, I knew what type of person Mr. Boddie was when I was about 6th grade. He used to always come out, him and my dad were really close. And I had graduated high school, and Roxanne needed a date to the prom. And she called me up, and I was going to go to college. And she called me up to chef. Yeah, Roxanne, you take two. My senior prom? I said, sure, why not? What's your dad think? You want to talk to him? No. I went to go pick her up. Mr. Boddie was standing at the front door. And he goes, you know I know your dad. And I know he works for the sheriff's department. But everything went great. But, the funniest thing is when Mr. Boddie was working at Novels.
Oh, bring it. Bring it.
Me, Fernando, Troy Ori, all going to Golden West College and football. Waiting to get some food. We said, you know where to go. We rolled up. Mr. Boddie hooked us all.
Yeah.
So much we couldn't even eat it all. And they looked, the guys in the back, his manager, and they looked at him and go, I know these guys. They play football. I know them when they're like this.
Ew.
So it's okay. But it's been great.
Oh.
It's been great knowing you.
Thank you.
I'm very happy for you.
Oh.
Yeah, 8 years is a long time. You got 4 years to come. So
Hear, hear.
keep moving, and I love you.
Yay. Thank you, Jeff. Oh, that was awesome. Wow. Oh, man.
Well, my name's Chris Beechin, and I'm a fraternity brother.
Shut up.
But I think I'm at the wrong party. It says here, at 7:30 p.m., greetings, speakers, open mic, please come forward. And finally, the man will speak. There was never a finally with Dick Boddie. He started everything, and then we had to finally get him to stop. Now let me be serious a little too.
Wow.
On this earth, you find some good people, extraordinary people. They are few and far between. My wife is one of them. She's the finest woman to walk the earth.
Nice. I'm obsessed
And
with
another
you.
one of them is Dick Boddie.
Wow.
When I went to Bucknell, you can look at me. There's a lot of shades in this room.
Mm-hmm. Never know shade.
And middle and white.
Yeah.
You're looking at white on white here. White on rice. And when I went to Bucknell, everybody looked like me.
Yeah.
Except Dick Boddie. And the fraternity that asked me to pledge had pledged Dick Boddie. And they got kicked out of the national organization because they did.
Wow.
But there were a bunch of great guys
And I said, these people know what they're doing. So I joined this fraternity. Now, what happened previously, and Dick, you gotta correct me about some of the details, was the national group came to visit our fraternity to see what was going on, straighten them out. And so one of the other fraternity brothers said, I got an idea. We'll put him up in Dick Boddie's room. And Dick Boddie and he will be roommates for this visit. Now, do you think anybody could convince this guy to do right more than Dick Boddie? He did. And we were admitted back into
Oh, yes.
Several years later, the head of the DU National
There
was
it
a
is.
black man for about 10 years running.
There it is. Wow. Oh, man.
I am immensely affected by you.
Oh, man.
And like everybody else
Wow.
says, I love you.
Wow.
I'm not quite your age. I hope to get there and look half as good. Here's a picture I drew.
I see. Oh, it's you.
When he had his beard
Oh, yes.
at the
Yep.
piano.
Yes. Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, yeah.
You're the best, buddy.
I love
Have a
you.
good day.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Hello and good evening. Hello. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicholas Wildstar. If my name sounds familiar to any of you, that's because I was the Libertarian candidate for California governor.
There we go.
It was definitely a new path for me, and at times I felt like I was flying blind, especially when there was not too many people in the party that looked like me.
Right.
I guess word must have gotten around to Mr. Boddie that there was a black guy running for governor on the Libertarian ticket.
Yeah.
Because next thing you know, I get an email from him, and I don't know this gentleman's name, but he's right. This man is quite lengthy. I mean, when you're running for governor, you already get inundated with emails and calls and etc. So I was actually looking forward to hearing from him, and I get this big biography email, just tons of information. I read through it actually
Good for you.
quite thoroughly.
Impressive.
And I appreciate the information, and I just felt very honored and thankful that somebody would reach out to me and want to share this information with me, would want to guide me. And that is something that's lacking in a lot of communities, not only the black community, but when it just comes to men in general. So I appreciate Mr. Boddie definitely taking me under his wing in many ways, and I look forward to picking your brain a lot more over the next 10, 20 years, 30, 50 years.
Yeah. Thank you. Woo! Thank you. Wow, this is just wonderful.
Hi, my name is Jim Brownfield, and I've known Dick since, about 89, 90. Actually, Gail Lightfoot had to vouch for me because Dick thought I was a bull at first. But it was great, and the year was 1994, and the Republicans were on the verge of the biggest takeover of Congress, in history. And we had Dianne Feinstein running for the state senate. We had Michael Huffington running for state senate.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, for national senate for the state of California. And then we had Dick Boddie,
Woo-hoo!
the main man running for the senate of the state of California. And there's a show on, it's still on radio, right? Johnny Kent. And every day they were talking about Huffington and Feinstein, and said there was nobody else. And so I called Dick up and I say, Dick, I can't take this anymore. Let me call them and try to get you on the show. So Dick said, yeah, just tell them you're the media coordinator. When you're a libertarian, you get promoted like that. candidates on. It's like, well, would you say there's nobody else running, and we have other people running? And so finally, after what, like a month or 6 weeks or something, they finally relented and allowed Dick to come on. And so Dick and Rich Stein, myself, all met up in Los Angeles at the studio. And we go up and we go in, and they let us actually into the studio. And I tell you what, you have never seen such a magnificent performance in all your life. I mean, you can tell he's the son of a preacher, man, because his arms are flying, he's in the microphone, they're asking him yes or no questions, and he's saying, yes! No! and they couldn't believe it. I'll tell you what, he like so enamored these guys that at the end of the day, they said, we're voting for you. And it was just so awesome. You had all of LA in the palm of your hand. I'm so proud to know you. And, you know, my friend, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that's awesome. Oh. This is wow. Wow.
Good evening, George.
Oh.
11 years after I had graduated from North Carolina A&T State University, Greensboro, North Carolina, 1968, 50 years ago.
Wow.
I decided that I would want to return and work on my master's degree. So I registered at, what was the name of that school?
National University.
National University. And my first instructor, guess who it was?
Oh.
Dickie Boddie.
Oh.
And I say that because, first of all, I'm Ernie Bridges, and I had been out of school for 11 years at that time, and a little apprehensive about what I was about to undertake. So I go into this class this evening, and there was this bright light up in the front of the room. And I mean, it was shining.
Mm-hmm.
It was all over the place. And I said, well, maybe this is where I need to be. And sure enough, this man took me under his wing and so inspired me that we got through that process within 18 months. And I walked away with an MBA in business administration.
Woo! Yes!
It didn't stop there because over
Not for
the
Ernie
years,
Bridges.
he's always, seemingly at the right time, would reach out and touch me. It was just something phenomenal about this man that he would send an email or a call, and it always seemed to come at the right time. We went through the process when he first decided that he was going to run as a libertarian candidate, and we would have some long conversations. And I said, Ed, I think you would do better as a Republican.
I'm sure you did. No.
Hang on. And of course, he immediately corrected that. But I said, Dick, there's a window here in Orange County at this time. I do believe you can feel there's some vulnerability here, and you have what it takes. I say that because at that time, going back, most of you may recall what the clientele was at that time.
he, in his wisdom, understood who he was and what he felt he needed to represent. And I stand before you and commend, and I've heard it several times since I've been here. Here's an individual with foresightedness, not only for himself, but those who are around him. He saw something in me that I did not see at a particular time. And God bless him that he continues to be that kind of individual. Dick, let you know that Sandy couldn't come tonight, but she sent all of her love to you and the family on this occasion. We love you, adore you, and keep on keeping on.
Thank you, Ernie.
Hi. I don't have nearly the credentials that the prior speakers have, but I can tell you this, that I'm pretty hard to convince. I'm pretty independent. And I put 100% blame on Richard Boddie because he caused me to change my registration to the Libertarian
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I don't think he realizes how hard that is to do because we never spoke. But he was running for election, and I knew a good man when I saw him.
Oh, yes.
And I changed my registration so that I could, in the primary, I could contribute to his success.
Oh.
And I'm still happy I did that. I don't regret that decision. Richard Boddie and I never really associated closely. We kind of ran around each other in similar circles. He's an attorney, but he's an attorney who believes in what you could almost call alternative law. He believed in law for the people and did a good job of it. I've never been an attorney, but for 30 years I've played around and I've been involved in alternative law. It's kind of fun, actually. And but I've watched him, and he has been a great influence on me. Like I said, I don't have the credentials of others who don't have a long relationship, but I've seen him. We're 1 month behind him in the birthday.
Up next.
But I know why I am what I am. It's because I was very young when I was born.
Nice.
So I thank Richard for his activity and giving me the opportunity to watch him. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Wow. Joe Brennan.
That's good answer.
We knew Joe Brennan was coming up.
Hi, my name is Joseph Brilliant. Rick told me I would have to speak. I don't have to, but I can.
Don't you feel like you have to, right?
And I have a audience. I met Dick in 1991. He was campaigning for the Libertarian Party nomination for president. And I was a newly minted Libertarian law student. And he spoke at our New York State convention, and I spoke to him afterwards, and I was very impressed. So I supported his candidacy and went to the national convention as a delegate. And that's when I got that second body blow when I met the body girl. So need to want to be Jedi Knight that I am, they needed to ride to the Emperor. I volunteered to ride So we started getting around in circles since then, orbiting each other. He went to law school at Syracuse University. What year was it you were at Syracuse?
Graduated in 70.
70. I went undergrad there in 76. It's almost like we were like drawn into the same circles. And I was so impressed with Dick speaking, and I consider myself a shy guy. But here I was involved in libertarian politics, and I was impressed with what he could do. And he convinced me that I wasn't shy, I was just reserved. And
now I can't resist the audience. Years later, he was speaking at the New York City Convention. He made a condition of his speaking there that I introduced him. So I appreciate that heads up. He's met a couple of my girlfriends. He met my only wife so far. Now she's my ex-wife now. So her judgment is a little suspect, but she said his dick is one of the best quality friends you have. So she liked him better than the best man at my wedding. So I last saw Dick in 2016, January 2016. I've been trying to get back here. There was a period of time, end of last year, where I stopped getting emails from Dick. I started getting worried. I hadn't heard from him. He usually sends around these email round robins to people. A lot of you probably gotten them.
Yes.
So I was desperate to get out here in January to try to find him, make sure we establish contact. And a young lady friend of mine wanted to come along the trip because it was her 40th birthday. And she delayed me, saying, I don't have the money for the ticket yet. And then the travel ferries brought the airfare price up too high, we couldn't make it. So we ended up going to Florida instead. And I've been trying to get back ever since. So all of a sudden, this email invitation pops in my inbox, I don't know what it was, a month and a half, 2 months, whatever it was. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go there, but I'm not scheduled to be off that weekend. I have vacation, September vacation, November. So I told Dick, I said, look, if I can get the time off of work, then it's possible. So I rearranged things so I could have this weekend off. I flew over from London because I live in London. Wow. So I flew over yesterday. You're tired. I flew over just to visit because I love to travel. It's one of my hobbies, and I collect frequent flyer miles, and I love it. I get over 10,000 coming here, so it's nice. It does good things for the family. So the other obstacle was money, because I didn't budget for this in advance. I had my holiday September, which was expensive at the time, and I got one coming up I'm trying to save for. Now I got the time up, I'm going to afford it. So I borrowed the money for the airfare, and I couldn't get a price down, because they originally quoted me 852 pounds, which is like $1,000, and I couldn't afford that. So hacked around, I got it down to 500 pounds, 511. But I had to fly by Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and Indiana.
Oh, wow.
14 hours of flying in one day, so I could be here for his 80th.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, Brendan.
The funny thing is, Dick and I think we get along so well. When I met him, he was saying, there are not many of us at the Libertarian Party. And I said, I know. I noticed that. Excuse me, I'm just having a little bit of a problem with my voice today, and we're 21 years in difference in age. I'm 59, I'm going to be 60 next year. And you wouldn't think, a lot of people say, well, why do you, I tell people I'm going to see my friend's birthday. I tell all my coworkers back in London, I'm going to California for my friend's 80th birthday. They're like, 80? Because we just get along so well. Someone said earlier, he's an up person. I am too. So maybe that's why we get along. I don't know. But the 21 years don't seem hardly like any difference at all between us. I always say, I'm almost 60. I got engaged earlier this year to who was going to be my second wife. And I always say to her, honey, she's 32. So I say to her, honey, I'm nearly 60. She said, stop telling me that. It doesn't work on me. But I always say, if you live to be 1,000, being 60 is like being 6 years old. So if you live to be 1,000, being 80 is like being 8 years old. Dick, you're just ahead of me. Let's keep going. Many more years. Happy birthday.
Hello, Brennan.
And now I'd like to call up the man of the hour, Richard Benjamin Boddie.
Yeah! No, we
hit the street. Reggie, you had to do it to me, man.
He did it, didn't he, Dad?
At least 2 minutes in front of he throws Michael McDonald in there saying heavy duty. I used to end my show on WAFC radio in Rochester. On Waxy Radio. That was one of the songs we grew up with.
Dave Mason.
It caused people a lot of problems by some of the stuff we were saying. I had Stokely Carmichael on my show. I had Jimmy Carter on my show before he was even known other than governor of the state of Georgia. I had Jesse Owens on my show.
Yeah.
When you think about all of that, when I was coming up here to share with you right now, until I heard Reggie Jones put on the right song. Wow. Well, my dad said it quite well. So the Lord may not come when you want him, but he's always on time.
Yes, yes. Yes.
I used to laugh at Daddy when he said that. It's true. It's true. The fact that I can stand up here today and I have to look at my birth certificate to believe that I'm the age that I tell you, and I have told government people, all those Social Security and all people, I've told them that in the year. I looked at the birth certificate and said, wow, that's 80 years ago. And I'm so pleased to look and see some of you dear people who have taken time to come to give me some honor. And David just came in the door, man. David Jackson.
David.
People from Rochester.
There it is.
He was the drummer at our wedding reception. If you were the reception back in 2011, and there was this great jazz group playing.
Oh, that's
David brought
amazing.
that group there. And they never had music over Huntington Landmark since.
No.
They only, people walking around their eyes and, oh man, that was a great band. I said, they didn't even know how good it was. David called me and said, I can't find this. And just look for the pier and look for one of them tall buildings here to show up. But that's my roots. I'm humble. And I appreciate all of you who took time to come just to listen to some of the messages. I look around the room and see people who were at the one from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I have the book over on the table where I was sitting from the birthday celebration of 10 years ago. And right now I'm looking in the room of at least probably a dozen people who are pictured in that book who are here tonight. And to me, that's quite pleasing. All I can tell you, I'm almost speechless. You know that doesn't happen all the time.
Right?
Yeah, I could just call out some of you, call out your names and everything else, but my next door neighbors, I'm just so happy to see them here. If you saw the, once again, what's the name of the TV show that was on? Rosewood. They did a shooting of Rosewood at the house next door to us 2 years ago right now. It was on my birthday, 2016. And the neighbor's house, who are here right now, Cindy and Todd Jacobs, they used their house and used our driveway and our garage and used our home as the stage area for $750.
Yes.
So I look at Todd and Cindy, I was like, wow, that was a great experience. Then I look over here at Norton Smith, who was our neighbor 20 years ago.
Yes.
Norton's sitting right here.
Norton's here.
Just honored that he's still with us.
Yes.
And then relatives. Lynn Arnold. Lynn's been around since I was driving limousine. Used to park the stretch limousine in the driveway there at their house because his father-in-law owned it but didn't have the room in the condo to park it there. So Lynn drove, I drove, Rick Stein drove. I love it because I never looked at myself as a role or a job. My job wasn't me. So So if it's an honest thing to do and something I can enjoy and tolerate, I do it. So Linda said, look at Lynn, and I'm awed. Ernie Bridges.
Ernie Bridges is here.
And Ernie spoke. And I drive by on the 405 freeway, past that little building which used to be National University. I looked, now they got skyscrapers all around it. And I said, I used to teach there. And that's where I met Ernie.
Yes.
And we're still here, we're still doing it. My dentist. My dentist, right here. I mean, I've always seen him in the dress-up stuff that you wear as a dentist. My man breaking here clean tonight. Well, he's all over here with the red ties on, the clean, like a model and stuff. I have 2 or 3 of my friends from Coastline College who I represented as the guy who represented part-time faculty in grievance hearings, etc. And I stumbled on a group of great people, all of whom were Vietnamese descent. Mm-hmm. And they showed tonight, and they'd be pretty tonight, and they said, let me tell you something. My cousin Tim was defending your country where your parents came from. I love those kind of hookups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris German, who was here before, and that Tim over there said, I ain't going. I said, I got that close. Ernst German, who lives over in Huntington Landmark, where we used to live, and he shows up and I just start, Guten Tag, my lieber friend, you ain't seen it. People say, how do you speak German, boy? You in the army? I said, no, I say none of that. I can't conceive how you can speak fluent German without having been in the military. Well, it's called college.
Hello. We'll be right back.
And it's called ability to speak and make sounds that you hear. And that's why I do all those impressions and stuff. Joe Library and his wife weren't even married then. And they're in the pictures in the book. So if you have an opportunity, the book is sitting right in front of where I was. Just glance through that and you can see yourself when you were 10 years younger.
And later. Wait.
Joe Brennan came all the way from London back in 1965 when I spoke in Phoenix, Arizona at the Freedom Summit in 1995.
You're old. When are the dates?
It had to be 2003. 2003. That was my 65th birthday. And then I had a party 5 years ago for my 75th. Joe, right there again. I remember Rich Nice said, that guy that talks a lot from here. I'll probably be here this time too.
Richie.
And then Jerry and Marty Barmore. I used to be a church person. I go to church because of Gary. Roxanne said to me, I'm a member of a church now, Dad. She's in college at the time, and we sing the choir there, and you love this church. I said, why is that? She said, because they talk your talk. He got some poetry. He'd be talking almost with Eastern mystical stuff. I said, oh, let me check that out. And it's such a pleasure. Gary married Roxanne and Keith.
Yes, yes. Oh, it's wonderful. I love you.
Recognize my sister-in-law Gwen.
Yes.
And my late wife Ann's sister.
Yes, yes.
She came from Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes. Auntie Wendy is here. Auntie Wendy. Auntie's here.
My endodontist. my deep tooth doctor. Sam Oldsley right here. Wow. Sam and I have been tight for years. I remember Sam said something about my teeth. He said they're like, what was it, that one lady? When she's good, she's really good. When she's bad, she's very, very bad. Mayweather. He said,
When she's bad, she's better.
when she's bad, she's bad. And when she's good, she's better. But on the end, that he knew because he was in there the same place that Dr. Swarup was at. You know what I'm saying? I'm on. Chris Beechin, thank you.
I'm loving being here.
Ray and Pat. Well, we were up in Santa Barbara a few months ago, stayed at Peggy's place.
Oh.
I'm looking at Miss Peggy, Miss Roger.
There they are.
Oh, I'm falling apart here. No, I just want to say I am so, and if I missed anybody here, then it's because I don't love you. He was in every picture. Ray here is almost every picture in the book back there. He's just as consistent as he can be. Tim Thompson was the tallest person in the picture last time. My grandsons are taller than that.
Hello, bring it. Tell me.
Tim Mason and Zoe, Amber, and Paisley, and great.
Well, it's wonderful.
Most of all, Shirley, for putting up with me for these past 4 years.
Shirley! Yes!
Another $1 over on the side. Here we go again. Rodney Brown.
Rodney.
Rod was the greatest lacrosse player they've ever known at Bucknell. He went years after me. The lacrosse coach came out to the West Coast recruiting, and he said, I want to meet with you, Dick, and I have another Bucknellian I think you'd want to meet. And we were at Norm's, and introduced me to Rodney Brown, and it was like we'd known each other all our life. I think Baltimore had something in there, or Maryland, of which General Boddie is from Baltimore. But I glanced over and there's Rodney. I said, wow, that's cool. That's good. And it's good to see all of you. Oh, my cousin Howard's son, Mark.
No way!
Yeah.
Yes! Oh, I love you. Oh my God.
Howard called me from Atlanta earlier today to wish me the best and said he wished that he could have been with cookies.
Linda
And
and
I understand
Dylan.
that one.
Dylan and his mother.
So many people and friends and occasions. Now, let me just want to say one last thing before I check out here. One of the reasons that I wanted to have this function, my guys from the little Chevron, my service people. Back in the spring of 2008, one of my close friends, some of you knew him, passed away today, years ago.
Oh, okay.
Marshall Fritz.
Oh, Marshall.
Marshall
Yeah.
had an event up in Hollywood. He was the founder of a group called the Advocates for Self-Government. They had a party for Marshall in the spring of 2008, and Ann and I attended. And as I was paying tribute to Marshall, it occurred to me that all the things being said about him were the things that people usually say at a funeral. And in the midst of my giving tribute to Marshall, I said, and he's right here. He's alive to hear it. He had pancreatic cancer. We knew he wouldn't be around too much longer. But the fact is, we were doing an occasion for Marshall Fritz, who was right there. And I said, I like those. I like that. I like that approach. And if I ever have the opportunity to do anything to give feedback to how I've lived my life or played the game, I'd like it to be while I'm awake. Because I'm in the fourth quarter of this game. I don't pretend that I have some special gift that says, and you will never die. No. I know that we're in the fourth quarter. Could even be in overtime for all I know. But I know I wanted to be at the occasion where I could hear what people were saying about me to know whether I had done an okay job.
Yes.
And I appreciate all of you. I appreciate Reggie for being able to do the kind of music. He snuck stuff in there that I've forgotten about.
Reggie brought it.
He snuck stuff in there. When he did the Billy Joel thing, I said, that's me and Erica and Roxanne and Jody.
Yes.
At airplanes waiting for the plane. We get into that for the longest time. People look at us and say, are they professionals or what? And what I say, right with me and say, hey, there it goes, brother. And y'all notice the tie. This is the tie.
Yeah.
The cape was the blue and orange too. That's Bucknell and Syracuse.
Yes, it is.
You don't have to change.
Didn't he?
That's awesome. Chris Peachin was with the first group of NFL films.
Sure. 30 for 30? No.
Yeah, same.
Say one of the original people in that group.
Yes.
And that's why Chris knows how to do those paintings and then pictures and whatever they call it. Mortarboards or whatever. Storyboard.
Yeah.
Nobody's storyboard. He'd be a Hollywood person, you know what I'm saying? And that's about all I need. Just don't. Oh, you just give me the sign and say 2 minutes.
Thank you, Tony. It's all about perspective, isn't
I'm pretty happy to be here. We have some more music and we're gonna dance. And I don't even dance, and I enjoy every one of you who took your time to come. And Reggie, one of the things I'm gonna need again, I'm gonna need Michael McDonald to do, not just taking us to the street. I'm gonna need Michael McDonald to do What a Fool Believes.
Yes.
And that would be dedicated to Thomas Kyle Johnson.
Yes. Uncle Tommy. Uncle Tommy.
That was when it came out. When they won Michael McDonald won the Grammy with the movie. What a Fool Believes. I said, this I'm gonna go into a Negro organ. That was a bad song, y'all. Thank you.
Erica's still kicking.